Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to level up your English by looking at how to express complex feelings about really important topics. If you want to sound more sophisticated and insightful when you're discussing big global issues, well, this explainer is definitely for you. So, here's the plan. First, we'll talk about why this is so important. Then, we'll listen in on a conversation to hear it in action. After that, we'll break down the 3 key grammar rules, do a little practice, and then we'll wrap it all up. Okay, let's dive right in. When we talk about huge topics like climate change or poverty, we feel a lot of things, right? Regret, frustration, a real desire for a better future. And just saying, I think it's bad, doesn't really capture all of that emotion. So how can we do it? How can we express all that complexity? Well, the answer is in 2 incredibly useful phrases: wish and if only. These are the keys to sounding way more expressive and thoughtful. Okay, to see how this works in the real world, let's listen to a conversation between 2 people talking about the environment. As you listen, try to tune into the feeling behind their words. Sometimes I wish our society were more aware of how serious climate change is. Did you catch that? That's a desire for things to be different right now, in the present moment.
I know. If only pollution levels were decreasing instead of rising. It feels like we are moving backwards. You can really hear the frustration in that, can't you? Using if only just adds this extra layer of drama and really emphasizes the feeling.
I also wish governments would take faster action. They talk a lot, but they don't change enough laws. Okay, here the feeling shifts a little bit. It's more like annoyance, right? The focus is on wanting someone else, the government in this case, to change their behavior. Same here. If only people would stop ignoring the long-term consequences. Yep, there it is again. That shared frustration. It's a call for other people to change what they're doing. I just hope we won't say one day, I wish we had acted sooner when we had the chance. And that last one? Wow, that perfectly captures that feeling of looking back at the past with regret. So these are some really powerful sentences, but how do they actually work grammatically? Let's break it all down. It really comes down to 3 clear rules. 1 for talking about the present, 1 for when you're feeling annoyed, and 1 for talking about past regrets. Okay, rule number 1. This is the one you use when you're not happy with a situation right now and you really want it to be different. You're basically talking about an imaginary present. Now, here's the formula. And what's really interesting and maybe feels a little weird at first is that you use the past simple tense to talk about the present. I know, it's strange, but that little time shift is the signal to your listener that you're talking about a wish, not reality. This comparison makes it crystal clear. Look, on the left, you've got the reality of the situation. And on the right, you can see how we use wish plus that past simple verb to imagine the opposite, better reality. All right, let's move on to our second rule. This is your go-to when you're feeling frustrated and you really, really want someone or something else to change their actions. The key ingredient here is the structure would plus the verb. This directs that desire for change onto somebody else, like a government or a corporation. Now, here's a very important note. You can't use this for yourself. You can't say, I wish I would. It just doesn't work. So you can see the structure is absolutely perfect for expressing that frustration with a situation that you can't control directly. It's a really powerful way to voice the change you want to see from others. And our final rule, rule number 3. This is for looking back and talking about regrets, things that did or maybe didn't happen in the past. We're talking about an imaginary past. The key here is the past perfect tense. That means using had plus the 3rd form of the verb, the past participle. Whenever you see that construction, it's a huge clue that you're hearing about a past regret. This example shows it perfectly. On the left, that's what actually happened in reality. But on the right, using wish plus the past perfect, we can talk about that imagined alternative, that path not taken. It's like talking about a different timeline. Okay, so we've got the rules down. Now, let's put it all into practice and really make sure these ideas stick by looking at a few more examples. Take a look at these sentences. Can you see our 3 rules in action? You've got wishes about the present, you have expressions of annoyance, and you have those regrets about the past. This is exactly how you can apply them to real-world topics. We have covered a lot, so let's do a super quick review to bring it all together. You can think of this next slide as your personal cheat sheet for using wish and if only. So, the most crucial takeaway is this. You just have to match the feeling you want to express, whether it's a present desire, annoyance, or a past regret, with the correct grammar structure. It's all about choosing the right tool for the right emotion. And there you have it. You now have this really powerful tool to express yourself more deeply and critically in English. So, take a look at this final question. How would you answer it using the grammar we've learned today? Go on, try to form your own sentence. Thanks for watching.